Sun and Moon were definitely some of the best Pokemon games to date. Fantastic graphics, great plot, and some of the battles to me were pretty challenging as well. With the introduction to Totem Pokemon and the style of new battling from the new characters in Sun and Moon brought a new generation to battling and brought a new challenge to the table. That's why today, I will be counting down the top 5 hardest battles in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I will be excluding Battle Tree battles because I will only be talking about battles that happen in the main story. Those will be covered another time more than likely. With that being said though, let's get right into the list. Starting off our list today, we have the Grand Trial of Ula Ula Island, the Dark-type master, Mr. Nanu. The thing that makes this battle stand out above the other Grand Trial captains is that by the time of this battle, if you didn't start with Popplio, you're not going to have a good time, considering that finding a fairy to deal with properly with the Sableye isn't that easy. And then if you get past Sableye, there is still a Krokorok and a really fast Persian in the back. With the Krokorok also having swagger to annoy you, that isn't any fun, and then the Persian with the Black Hole Eclipse from Dark Pulse ready to strike you down. To me, I feel like this definitely was the most difficult Grand Trial out of them all. Now at first glance, this giant beast was terrifying in my opinion. From introduction, you feel a bit of fear as you're sitting on your Lapras and this giant beast of a Pokemon approaches you. You see the Wishiwashi in its school form ready to kick your team's butt, and it's being in the rain, making it slightly scarier. As for the battle, even though Wishiwashi's moveset isn't the greatest in Water Gun, Growl, Rain Dance, and Soak, what truly makes this fight difficult is the fact that there is a school form Wishiwashi at level 20, because school form stats are really good, and at level 20, that is something to fear, despite the Water Gun that it's going to use. And if you think you can knock it out of school form easy, oh no. This fish is holding a Citrus Berry, restoring 25% of its health, and it has a fun partner Pokemon in Alomomola, which has this handy move known as Heal Pulse, which will restore Totem Wishiwashi back up. On top of all this, Wishiwashi has had a defense boost from the beginning. The battle was tough, but an okay synergized team makes Wishiwashi a not so huge issue. With all the main series Pokemon games, there is a champion at the end of every journey, and of course they are difficult in some way, with some of the Pokemon they have on their team. Kukui is the same way in regards to his Snorlax, Incineroar, and Magnezone. His Braviary has access to Tailwind, which doubles the speed of the slower Pokemon on his field for 3 turns. His Pokemon are pretty slow, so this benefits him a lot. These 3 Pokemon can really dent holes into players' team if they are not careful. That and the starter Pokemon Z Crystals. The Alolan starters are pretty slow, so Tailwind and a Z move is going to hurt, of course. If you have resistance though, that's different, just be sure it can take a hit. Even without Tailwind though, Snorlax is still ridiculously bulky and has a pretty good moveset in terms of coverage. A fighting Pokemon would be great for the Snorlax, to be honest. Just watch out for Braviary and other threats such as Primarina or Decidueye depending on what starter you chose. Ninetales is a threat too. Don't worry though, I haven't forgotten about Lycanroc neither. That mon is pretty powerful, look at those stats and moves. Be careful, 112 and 115 base speed is nothing to play with. So yeah, Kukui is no one to sleep on, no pun intended. Who would have thought that the adorable Pikachu plush would be an issue? I most certainly didn't until I faced off against it in Acero's trial in Ula Ula. The thing that makes this trial so difficult is first off, Mimikyu's very unique typing of Ghost and Fairy, meaning that only other Ghost type attacks and Steel type attacks are super effective. But on top of that, there's Mimikyu's whole new and special ability in Disguise, meaning that Mimikyu will take one hit you dish at it 100% free. Now if you thought you could status Mimikyu by burning it or poisoning it to whittle it down, think again, cause this sneaky old doll is holding a Lumberry, and its Totem Aura increases all its stats by 1 stage. On top of all this, Mimikyu has the ability to call for help from Haunter and Gengar, who are both equipped with Hypnosis to potentially put you to sleep, and the Gengar even has Shadow Ball, which is hitting your team pretty hard if not ready. With Incineroar, it's not a huge issue, but there's player for Mimikyu still, which is not very merciful, so be prepared. There are always those times in video games where you face off against an opponent so full of tricks and sneaky tactics, which makes it seem impossible to beat. In Sun and Moon, to me, that was Totem Lurantis in Lush Jungle. The thing that makes this trial so much harder than any of the other battles in this game is that Totem Lurantis gets +2 boost in speed, making it faster than anything on your team, and its moveset consists of Solar Blade, which wouldn't have been an issue if it weren't for the fact that Lurantis is holding a Power Herb, making it so Solar Blade is a 1-turn move instead of 2 turns. X-Scissor to counter other grass types and dark types, Razor Leaf and Self-Healing and Synthesis. Not only that, but the SOS Pokemon it can call for are Trumbeak, which will just sit there and confuse you with Supersonic and pluck you out of existence. Then there is Castform, which sits at the sun and makes Lurantis so much worse. Even if you selected Litten, this battle was incredibly tough, which is why I've placed Mallow's Lurantis trial at number 1. Well, those were my top 5 hardest battles in Sun and Moon. To me, all of these battles placed a good challenge, and really put me and my team to the test. What do you guys think though? Were these battles hard? What battles did you consider hard when playing through Pokemon Sun and Moon? Share your experiences in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and share this video with a friend. With that being said though, I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I will see you next time.